Hello all, Jonathan Rasberry here for the next video in our series, Endgame Laboratory. And today we're going to be learning how to mate with the two bishops. Now this is a fairly simple mate if you do not know how to do it already. Basically the idea is you need to march the king to the side of the board, force him into a corner, and then checkmate him. The only real difficulty about this is first learning how to force the king to the back rank. And then learning to make a couple of waiting moves. And the rest is just logical stuff. Alright, so the first thing that you need to do is you need to create a barrier so that the king cannot pass. So what I'm going to do is, there's multiple different ways I can do this. There's no way I can immediately get him, give him a barrier. So first I'm just going to play bishop f3. If he does nothing, I'm going to play my bishop over to e3, and I've got the barrier. So he'll come over here, let's just say. The bishop's actually covering it, so we'll go here. And then here we can create a side barrier here with bishop to f4. So now the point is the king cannot go to any of these squares. He's cut off. So we're going to play king to d3. And this is actually kind of interesting that we're going to do it to the side of the board. Visually, it will look about the same just because of these two bishops here. So you always want to get the king to the side of the bishops, which if the bishops were forcing the king to the back of the board, you'd have your bishop say here and your king here, forcing that king back. The king, again, he's trying to stay in the center. So we're going to go king e2. Alright, so simple so far. Basically, you just want to force the king. We're going this way, remember. So we want to force the king up the board. Now he can't go to this square, he can't go to this square, he can't go to any of these squares. So let's back him up. Alright, so what's his threat? Well, by threat, I mean make it more annoying for us. Simply, he wants to come back here. And I don't want to get my king in the way of the bishops. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play bishop to e5. And the point of this is all of a sudden this square is cut off, this square is cut off, and this square is cut off. Alright. Maybe there's some escape over here. Let's go up. Bishop, alright, over here to e4. King goes back. I'm gonna bring my king up to e3, he'll bring his king over to c5, and I again bring my king forward to d3. Alright, so now the king will go back here to b4. What we need to do now is play bishop. Well, we can either go. Actually, no, this isn't the best. We need to go bishop to d4. If we play bishop to a d6, he may try to run away. But again, we're trying to get him in the corner anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're taking away this square. That's the key. He's going to go back. We're going to play bishop to d5. Now the king is going to come back. We can't get to this square that we want to immediately, so we'll just play a sideways move. King to b5, king to c3. Of course, back here, I could have also played bishop to c4, but we're just going to stick with this simple method here with king to c3. King is forced back. Again, we're taking away this square. And he can come over here, but he's trying to run away from my king, but he's just getting closer to the corner, so let's say he goes king to a4. Bishop's going to come over here to c4. And then he's going to go back. So we have decided where are we going to mate him. Let's mate him, because my king is down here. Let's mate him in this corner. We want to get our king to the side of our bishops, right beside our bishops, to the corner we intend to mate him in. Alright, so simple. He doesn't have a threat right now, but we need to waste a move. So let's play bishop to d4. Now the point is he can't go here to b5 or a6. So he's got to come down. Now, because we're trying to force him into the corner, he's technically, you could say, threatening to come back over here to a5. So let's go bishop to b6. He's going to go king to a3. Alright. Now you could say he's threatening to go king a4. We'll stop him. Getting fairly logical. forcing the king here to a2. We're again going to play bishop c5, stopping him from coming back, and then he's going to come over here. And this is where he's going to be residing for the rest of the game, which isn't going to be very long. King to a1. And in this case, it works out fairly nicely for us. Sometimes, let's just say I waste a move here. Sometimes you'll get to a position like this, and maybe because of the way the bishops were positioned going into the endgame, or you did it a different way, but you may get to the position like this, and the king's going to come to a1, and basically you just need to waste a move. And then you can continue with the plan that I'll show you. But going back here, here after king a1, we can go king to c2, easy move. Now the king comes to a2 and the mate. Bishop c4 check, king a1, and bishop to d4 is checkmate. Alright, so a very simple method of how to mate with two bishops, and there are, of course, a couple of other ways to do it, but I would suggest this way to you because it's great for time scrambles. You've got the two bishops right next to each other defending. You won't ever have to worry about the king threatening both of them at the same time. You've got the king right up next to the bishops. You've got a very solid structure, and you just simply make the same series of moves no matter what he does, unless of course he runs to the corner, and that just makes it easier. And you just make the same series of moves over and over to get to the edge of the board, and then you force him over to the side of the board. So it's really good, pretty logical way to quickly mate if you only have, say, a few seconds left to make your moves. And so if you have not before known how to mate with the two bishops, I would suggest watching this video at least one more time, maybe two, and then try to practice it. Like, set up a position on your computer and practice it, because you may say, okay, yeah, this is all logical, I can remember how to do it. But it may be a little harder than you think. Just because you need to see all the squares where the king is threatening to go, especially when you're pushing those bishops one rank farther down the board. So practice that a couple times and you're going to be good. So thank you for watching this short little video. I hope you enjoyed it. More mates to come. Knight versus bishop will come sometime soon, but that is a much more advanced variation, so we're going to wait and learn a little bit more before we go into the knight versus bishop, the really hard one. So thank you for watching again, and have a nice day.